morning. Rise and shine. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Today is the day the Lord has made. Good morning. Happy Monday. How are you guys? Yes, I'm back. Oh, how have you been? I hope everybody's been fine and that they've had a wonderful weekend. I have had some good times, yes, and I missed you guys. I know y'all missed me too. I know y'all missed me. Happy Monday. You have tuned in to the Brave Stars podcast, and I am your host, Janice LaStar Simmons, and I'm a survivor, a breaker of chains, and an advocate against domestic violence. Well, while I mentioned domestic violence, let me leave you the hotline number for domestic violence for those who may need it. It's 1-800-799-SAFE, 1-800-799-SAFE. That's 1-800-799-7233. Not just women suffer from domestic violence, and domestic violence isn't just physical abuse. It can be verbal abuse, it can be financial abuse, and it can be emotional abuse, So there's men that suffer silently because they don't want to share what they're going through. But if you know someone who is going through a domestic violence situation, you have to get their permission to call, but give them the number. And when they're ready, I'm sure they'll reach out. I'm not going to make this into an episode about that. I want to share some health benefits with you and some foods that can help you lower your pressure, because what I discussed here is lowering your blood pressure or your sugar levels. Because I have in my family, we have the generational curse of high blood pressure and sugar diabetes. And I am not a doctor, but I am breaking the generational curse beginning with me and my family. So this is my journey on what I've been going through to lower my pressure. I was on the borderline of being a diabetic, and now I'm not. I never had to take diabetes medication, but since I was in my 20s, I watched my portions of carbohydrates. So I've never really been a major bread eater. So as far as sandwiches go, that's not something that I miss. Now and then I would do a hero back when, you called them, what do you call them? Grinders. Some people call them grinders. But I don't miss bread at all. In fact, I don't even buy it anymore. I haven't bought bread for years, about 2 years now, because my daughter's grown. If she wants bread, she can buy bread, She's the only one that eats it in the house. And she doesn't even eat it often because it can mold in this house, so I don't even buy it. But I'm in my family. I have siblings. My father passed from it. I have people with high blood pressure and sugar diabetes. And I have chosen and decided and declared that I want to live. So in order to do that, I had to change my way of eating and my way of thinking, So I had to incorporate healthier foods like green vegetables and fruits. I eat one ingredient foods. So one ingredient foods would be like a grape, strawberries, cherry. That's one ingredient. If you eat a strawberry, there's nothing added into that strawberry. It's a strawberry. And even more so, if you eat organic strawberries, there's nothing added. There's nothing sprayed on it, and nothing like that. So it's only one ingredient. That's what I mean by one ingredient foods. Spinach, if you're eating it plain, or however you eat it, it's one ingredient if you're eating it fresh, And That's what I like to eat, one ingredient foods. I have stopped eating canned foods years ago. Okay. It's been about 3 years now that I've stopped eating canned foods. I used to weigh 189 pounds. So I was pushing 200 pounds, and I'm only 5'2.5". So you can imagine the size that I was. Now I weigh 164 pounds, and I'm going down still because I choose to go down. I want to go down. And right now I'm actually in this challenge where I want to lose. I don't want to say I want to lose. The goal of the challenge is to lose 15 pounds. So we're doing intermittent fasting, where we're eating in a 5 to 6 hour window, and the other 8 to 9 hours you can do water, you can do tea, as long as you don't add any sugar or cream or anything in your tea. I don't know if you if you drink black coffee, you can do that as well without sugar or cream. It has to be straight. But me, I only drink tea and I drink water. Most of the time I'm just doing water. When I drink my teas, I'll drink some tea made from the soursop leaves, or I'll do that within my eating window, because I do want to add a little sweetener. I don't use sugar. I haven't used sugar for years, but I do use a sweetener, and the sweetener is actually organic maple syrup. Now, it's 100% organic maple syrup. So I'll use a tablespoon of that and pour that into my tea. It's not going to really be sweet, but it's just not flat, tea that it's not a good flavor, the soursop tea. But I do have flavored teas, they're herbal teas that I also drink from time to time. I was fighting a cold, and I was drinking the lemon ginger tea, which is really good. It felt soothing because my throat was killing me. And I got some apple cider teas. I got a lot of flavored teas in there that are herbal teas, no caffeine, And I want to be healthy, and I want to live. I want to see my little grandbabies grow up. I have 3. Oh my God, the handsomest little guys. And I just want to be there to see. My mother was a great grandmother. Was she a great? She might have been a great grandmother. You know what I mean? And I want to live to do that. I want to be here for that. I don't want to be feeble and older. I want to still be active and older. I want to live in every sense of the word. Anyway, I want to give you an affirmation of meditation for you to say repeatedly throughout your day and throughout the week. And you can make your own as well, but you want to say things that help you improve who you are, and what you want to do with your life, or love yourself. You know what I mean? So there's some affirmations you can say in the mirror to love yourself. I give myself permission to love myself enough to eat healthy. It is my divine right to improve my eating habits and my health. I give myself permission to love myself enough to eat healthy. It is my divine right to improve my eating habits and be healthy. Okay. You say it as many times as you need to, tweak it a little bit, say that again and again. I do this, I say it to myself. I believe this. This is ingrained in my fiber that I am going to eat healthy. And I do that. I don't eat meat anymore. I'm a pescatarian, you can call it. But there's no religious beliefs behind it or anything like that. Um, and I'm just loving life right now. Really, I am. I'm going to be going on a trip by myself. I got so much that I'm going to be doing, and I'm going to be vlogging while I'm on my trip. I got the idea from Tracy Ellis Ross. She was saying that she travels by herself, and it's okay to travel by yourself. And there's been a couple of birthdays that I've been wanting to travel with friends, and they kind of forget. I don't know if they forget or it's not in their budget and they say they had another plan or something. I don't have time for that. I'm not doing that this year. I mean, me and my girls, we had a really good time. And I spent it with another friend, another time. We celebrated. The month of June was celebrated, trust and believe. But next year, I'm going away. I don't know if I'm doing a cruise or I'm doing a flight to a country. I don't know yet. But I'm starting to look and see what I want to do. And I haven't been on a cruise for like 3 years. So I'm considering cruise. What's it, 3 years? 2 years. Because me and a friend of mine, we went 2 years ago with her sisters. So that was 2 years. But I want to go again. I want to go on a cruise. I want to go somewhere. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But anyway, say your affirmation and meditation. Build yourself up. I am beautiful. I am bold. I am loved. I am blessed. I am complete. I am healthy. Say what you need to say to improve who you are and how you feel, and so tell yourself you love yourself and how you feel about yourself. Big up yourself to yourself. No one's going to do that for you. You might have someone who does it in your life, but I'm saying love yourself, because even in the Bible, it says, love your neighbor like you love yourself. If you don't love yourself, how can you love someone else? You have to love yourself. You have to teach yourself to love yourself. Hopefully you didn't grow up with someone, discouraging you or downgrading you or, verbally abusing you. If you did, you can get over that. You can get through that. We can't allow our past to dictate our present. So it's up to you to get past that. Some people go to therapy. I do not have anything against therapy. Teach yourself to love yourself. Okay? It's not something that everyone does for themselves, but it is something you should be doing for yourself. Love yourself. Love on yourself. Big up yourself. Girl, you looking good today. It don't even have to be a girl. It could be a guy. You looking at yourself. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Whatever you call yourself. Ha, bro, you got this. Who got this? You got this. That's right. Make yourself love yourself. If you don't love yourself, how can you love someone else? But some people have a problem with loving themselves. They don't like something about themselves. So many people are changing their bodies today and their faces. And I don't have anything against that. If that's what you want to do to make yourself love yourself, do you, boo. But love what you have. Know where you're starting from and love who you are internally. This way, the love that you have inside for yourself, you can go ahead and give that to somebody else. Love your neighbor as you do yourself. Otherwise, it's difficult to love somebody else if you don't love yourself, And God made all of us beautiful in our own ways, all right? And I'm not just talking about a reflection. I'm talking about here, You get to choose if you want to be a beautiful person or not. You can have the prettiest face in the world, but if you're ugly in here, you's ugly. And people will talk about it. She's not nice, she's this, or they're not nice, they're this, they're that. Honey, Love yourself, and you can love someone else. And take baby steps. Not everybody can look at themselves and say anything about I love me, or I am love, I am beautiful, I am healthy. You may have your own issues, but you can always pray to God to help you get past those issues and believe you deserve the blessing or the healing or whatever it is. Believe you deserve it. Believe you have it. Declare that you have it. And God listens to prayers, He really does. He listens to prayers. And the more people pray for you, with you, about you, the more that come together to pray, He will listen and He will grant those prayers as long as they're aligned with His word, So, and God says He wants us to prosper. He wants all of us to prosper. And I just love talking to you guys, as you could see. As far as me going down to 164 pounds, yes, I did that with the intermittent fasting. And we're doing this challenge for the month of September. So we're supposed to lose 15 pounds within, this month. Now, I had lost weight and went down to 165 previously. And then I went back up to 174. So what I was doing going up to the 174, it wasn't like I was eating crazy. It's just that I was eating late in the day, and I go to bed earlier now because I have such early mornings, and I was sleeping on that food, and it's not a good thing. You eat healthy and then you sleep on the food. If I'm eating past 7 o'clock or up to 7 o'clock, that wasn't good for my body. I had to learn that was too late an hour to eat. So now I try to make sure I'm eating no later than 6:30, 6:15, that area. I don't start eating until 12:30, 1 o'clock. So like I said, we're doing intermittent fasting. When I break my fast, I don't do breakfast, a big breakfast. What I'll do is I'll break it with a banana or with some watermelon. I'll break it with fruit, with one ingredient fruit. So I get in my stomach, letting my stomach know we're about to have some food. And then an hour later, I will have me a meal. The meal that I have is the one meal that I do for the day. That's just my choice, my preference. I'll have one meal, and it'll probably have some protein, some fish or some shrimp in it. Or sometimes one night I just did beans. That was my protein. And I'll turn around. If I want something else afterwards, it might just be a salad with some, I do spinach. Sometimes I do lettuce. It depends. But right now I've been on this spinach kick. I love my spinach. So I'll do spinach and carrots. Put some onions in it. I'll put some sunflower seeds, unsalted, because I told you the issue of high blood pressure, so I don't want anything with salt. I will, and oh my goodness, my pressure has been, since I've been doing this challenge, my pressure has been like 110/72. Beautiful pressure. I don't even think I need to be taking the pills. I should start weaning myself off. And I make sure, like I said, I make sure my last meal is by 6:15, 6:30. I try to, I'm not saying I rush through it, but I try to eat it and finish it by that time. If not, then I have to stay up a little later, or else I'll exercise at night. Usually I get my exercise done in the morning. I walk for an hour. I'm doing these leg lifts where I let my elbow rather touch my knees, and I do squats. I'm working on that tummy, honey. We're going to get that tummy flat next year, come summertime, or maybe even when I go on my vacation for my birthday. You're going to see a six-pack. Well, that's the goal anyway. I want a six-pack. Anyway, don't mind me. I like to have fun. It's Motivational Monday, people. You have tuned in to the Brave Stars podcast. You can listen in on iTunes, Spotify, Google Pods. Is it Google Pods? It's called Good Pods. You can watch on YouTube. Make sure you're eating green vegetables. You want to have lots of green vegetables. This helps build up your immune system, and it also helps in lowering your blood pressure. It helps stabilize your sugar levels. You can lower them. And take your medication. Whatever your doctor told you to take or gave you and prescribed for you to take, you take that. But what I am saying is that you can lower your pressure. And when you eat farm-raised foods, meats, you have to worry about what they're feeding it. Now, wild-caught fish or, wild any kind of beef, chicken, that is usually more healthy than the other stuff that they're swelling up and feeding us. And do not do fast food, please. If you're going to do fast food, do a fast food restaurant that's not anything other than, I hate to say McDonald's, but I have not heard them sing that song about 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese. I haven't heard them say anything about beef before. That used to be for the McDonald's commercial. Where's the beef? Where's the beef? Because it was beef patties. They had the Angus of beef at one time. And I don't know what happened, why they got away from that. I have no idea. But I'm telling you, they're saying it's not healthy. So you beware. Y'all be careful out there. Cook your own food. That's all I could say. If you go to a restaurant, go to a real restaurant where they're cooking food and food looks like food, not burgers. If you want to spend $20 on a burger, you're eating real burger. But I'm just saying, I want to live. So I'm doing what I need to do to change what I need to change so that I can continue to be healthy. It's a journey. It's a hard. You know what I mean? You got to choose your hard. Either you're going to exercise and eat healthy to remain here, or you're going to lay around, eat whatever the heck you want to eat, and go to the doctor all the time because something's breaking down on you, Choose your hard. It's hard to have to be in the hospital all the time or long time, It doesn't mean not everybody goes to the hospital all the time. Some people are walking around sick and don't even know they're sick because they won't get a checkup. Go to the doctor and get a checkup, okay? Let them tell you everything is working properly. You have tuned in to the Brave Stars podcast, and we talk real here. We don't play games. We don't beat around the bush. I talk to you about what's happening and what you can do to fix what's wrong with you, okay? Now, it's not easy being cheesy. No. It's not easy taking care of yourself. You want to give yourself the best. You know what I mean? Some people like to cut corners. They cutting, the prices and, I ain't buying no organics. Organics is more expensive. Anything you buy that's going to be healthy for you is going to cost more. Okay? Maybe you should be eating less. That's a thought. Join the challenge. You can do it for 1 month. You can start in October and do it for the month of October. If you start eating healthy, the first thing you're going to notice is that you're losing weight. You start eating less carbohydrates, you will notice you're going to lose weight. Carbohydrates puts weight on you, the wrong kind of weight, and it's really not healthy. It makes you keep feeling like you're hungry. The more carbs you eat, the more you want to eat. You understand? So rice is a carbohydrate. Pasta, bread, any kind of noodles, noodles are pasta, but those are carbohydrates. Like cereal, carbohydrates. I used to love cereal too. I loved me some cereal, but your girl she's trying to live. I want to live. So things like that I cut out and I replaced them with vegetables, fruit. Pick your fruit. Whatever fruit you like, start eating that. Use that as candy. You know what I mean? I used to like, what was those things? Now and laters. I used to have, up to an adult, I like now and laters, you know? But I cut that out years ago. I noticed a family member of mine had lost all of their teeth because they had liked sweets like that. And I was like, ooh, that's in the family, losing your teeth. We gonna stop that. So yes, I stopped it. And I liked grapes. I had loved me some red grapes. And then they had these other grapes that I don't eat anymore because they're artificially made. They're moon grapes. They have no seeds. So I was like, no, we're not doing the seedless thing anymore. I don't do seedless anything. Even my watermelon, it has to have seeds in it. I want to be healthy. All of this generated stuff, regenerated stuff, or cloned stuff, I don't know what they're doing. I just want to live. I don't want all of this fake stuff anymore. So you can do it your way. Start slow. I didn't do all of this. All of a sudden, I'm eating like this and I'm doing organics. No, I took my time getting there to improve what I was eating. So start with your green vegetables. Start with leafy. You want to have leafy green vegetables and green vegetables. You want fruit. You want water. Incorporate water in your day. You should have water by the side of your bed when you wake up in the morning and drink down a bottle. I have 2 bottles of water before 7 o'clock in the morning that I'm drinking down. I'm usually doing it. I drink 2 bottles while I'm on the treadmill, doing that hour walk, and I'm exercising. I'm doing my weights. I got my hand weights while I'm walking, and in between, I'm grabbing that bottle and drinking. I'm staying hydrated. And you can add it and do however you need to do to make yourself feel better about what you're adding and incorporating into your life. But you need to stay active. You got to be active. You want to hydrate by drinking water. You want to eat fresh fruits. You want to eat fresh vegetables, mainly green vegetables. Those are the ones that help build your immune system. They help lower your pressure and sugar levels. So let's do this. Let's get healthy, people. All right, I can talk to you all day, but I'm going to end here. Click that like button for me, please, and share the episode. And we'll be back. Love you guys. Later, Gators.